VFX Blender here today, and I'm your host, Zachary Taylor. I'm rocking a bow tie. Today we're going to learn how to create a realistic wedding ring. So in order to do this, we have to create a diamond and the ring that the diamond is held in, and also create the diamond material as well as the golden material for the ring. So let's get started. Okay, I have Blender 2.75. Let's exit out of the splash screen. Now if I hit Shift A, you can tell that the menu pops up and you're greeted with all of these different choices that you can choose for different types of objects. However, in Blender, there's actually extra objects that you can actually add in your scene. So let's delete the cube by hitting the delete key, or X on the keyboard if you're a Mac user. Go to the tab button, go to user preferences, make sure you have add-on selected, and go to the search box and type in extra. Okay, you're going to see add curve and add mesh. Click on add mesh extra objects on the checkbox. You can save the user preferences if you want. Alright, but go to 3D view, and now if I hit Shift A, you'll see that a whole bunch of different objects pop up that weren't there before. And you can explore and kind of experiment around with this, and it's really interesting. They have gears, pipe joints, a whole bunch of other awesome stuff that you can use to create other objects in your scene. But today I'm going to go to extra and go to diamonds and then brilliant diamond. Okay, so what we have here is a normal diamond that you would find on a ring. So I'm going to drag out the menu, and I'm going to click on Cycles Render. I'm going to make sure that I have GPU selected. Only do this if you have a graphics card. And now I'm going to go to my Material tab by clicking right there. Make sure that your diamond is selected by right clicking on it, then hit New. Open up the preview, and we're going to make this a glass shader. So let's see how this looks by clicking on the rendered view. Okay. So it's just a simple glass shader added to the diamond. Great. Well, that's what we need right now. I mean, that will be okay until we make it more complicated and make it look like it would in real life. So that will suffice for right now. Go back to solid mode and hit Shift D to duplicate, and we're going to bring it up on the Z axis. Now, select the other diamond, go into edit mode, or you can hit the tab key on the keyboard. And I'm right now selecting faces. I'm going to select a point. So I'm going to right click on this point, and I'm going to bring this down to about right there. Now I'm going to select faces now, so I'm going to click right there, and I'm going to hit Z so I can kind of go into wireframe mode and see everything. I'm going to hit B to box select, and I'm only going to select the bottom portion. So let me get out of wireframe mode by hitting Z, and you'll see what I selected. So this is going to be the thing that actually holds the diamond in place. Alright, but I want to delete everything else. So in order to do that, I need to select the opposite of what I have selected right now. And you can do that by hitting Control I. If you hit Control I, it will select the opposite of what you had selected before. Now, if I hit the delete button, you'll see a menu that pops up. If you hit vertices, everything will disappear. What you have to do is hit faces, and it will only delete what you had selected. Now, hit A to select everything. We're going to hit E to extrude, and that creates an extra face on the mesh. And now I'm going to hit S, and watch this. Pretty cool. So now I need to select the edges, because I only want to select this top part right here. So I'm going to go back into wireframe mode. I'm going to zoom out and box select by hitting B, and I'm just going to select the top portion right here. I'm going to hit E and extrude it out to about right there, and then I'm going to hit E again and then hit S. Okay, so this is the diamond holder that we just simply created. So let's go to object mode and go to the modifier by clicking on the wrench tab right here. We're going to click add modifier. We're going to add a solidify modifier. So what that does is it actually makes it thick, which is exactly what we need, because before it was really thin. Alright, and now that we've done that, I think actually I'm going to bring down the thickness just a little bit. That's a little bit too thick for my taste. That seems pretty good. Now I'm going to hit apply and go to add modifier, go to subsurf modifier, and I'm going to bring this up to 3. Okay. I'm going to bring the diamond down on the z-axis, and that should fit into the slot like so. Awesome. So we have the diamond and the diamond holder. Okay, so we have the diamond holder. Now we need to create the ring itself. So let me hit Shift A and go to cylinder, and where this menu right here, click on nothing. Okay, I'm going to click on my scaling tool. I'm going to scale this down on the z-axis. You can also do this by hitting S and then Z. Okay, and now go to my modifier, click on solidify. I'm going to solidify this to about right there. I'm also going to kind of bring that down a little bit more and make it a little bit thicker, about right there. Apply. Okay, now we need to go into edit mode, hit Control R, and then left click, and then hit S, and we'll kind of bulge the outside a little bit, because a realistic ring is flat on the inside and round on the outside. Okay, so now we need to go back to object mode and click on modifier and subdivision surface. Now it kind of looks like a torus, and the reason why is because it's rounded on the inside and on the outside, and that's not what we want. So go back to edit mode and hit Control R, left click, kind of bring that down to about right there, then Control R, left click, and then right about there, and then hit left click. Okay, object mode, you can see that on the inside it's flat, on the outside it's round. Let me subdivide this one more time till it gets to about 3. That looks good. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is hit apply, then give it smooth shading, and the next thing is go to the object, rotation 90 degrees. Alrighty, I'm going to scale this up to about right there, bring it down, scale it up a little bit more, hit G to move it around, and you just kind of have to play it by eye until it looks good. One way you can do it is hit 5 to go into a different mode, and then 1, and you can kind of see how it looks, and you have to hit 1 on the numpad. Alrighty, I'm gonna bring this into the center of the shot, about right there, and then I'm gonna bring this into the center just so I know that I have it in the completely in the very center of the object. Now, the next thing that we need to do is add a material to the actual ring itself. And since the ring holder and the ring are going to have the same material, we can go ahead and combine them together. But let's make sure that the modifiers are applied before we join them. Okay, now that we've done that, hit Shift and then right click on both of them, and then hit Control J. Now, we need to go to our material and go to Glossy. And let's go to let's make this kind of like a orange. Go to the node editor. Alrighty, I'm going to now that I'm in the node editor on the material, I'm going to hit Shift D and Shift A, go to shader, mix shader. I'm going to put this right there. I'm going to give this one a little bit of a lighter color of orange, and now in order to have a difference from the outside and the inside of the object, I need to add a layer weight. Okay, go to search, type in layer weight, and you can kind of see that it made it dark on the inside and lighter on the outside. I can illustrate what I'm talking about. Let's say I made this green and I made this red. That's how it works. But alright, make that color and that color. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let me go back to my 3D view. Okay, so we finished the ring material. Let's click on the diamond, because now we're going to work on the diamond material more. So right now we have the glass BSDF. Let's change that. So let's go to the node editor. we're going to bring this out and hit Shift D and then Shift D. I'm going to hit Shift A, go to shader, click on add shader. I'm going to bring this out even farther, then have add shader selected by hitting right click and then Shift D one more time. Okay, I'm going to bring this right there, and then I'm going to click and drag to right there. This is going to be red. I'm bring that to 0 where red is 1 and everything else is 0. And I'm going to bring the IOR to 2.45. It's important. Now, the glass BSDF, I'm going to bring this to a solid green. I'm going to click and drag to make sure everything is 0 except green. And then on the other one, and the IOR, I need to make this 2.46. And then on the glass BSDF, I need to make this a blue, a solid blue. So let me bring this down to 0, 0, and make this 1. And make the IOR a 2.47. Okay. So now that we have the ring material finished, let's go to our 3D view. Now, if you render it out, it won't look good, because the lighting isn't right at all. And the easiest way to get realistic lighting is an HDR. And I will provide a link in the description to use an HDR for free. But right now, once you have that downloaded, go to the World tab and make sure you have background. Click right here, go to Environment Texture, and I'm going to open up. I'm going to go to my HDR folder, go to Malibu Overlook. I'm going to select 3K.HDR. Alright, and you can kind of see what the HDR looks like. If I go into my camera and I hit render, it's already looking much better. There's still a lot of improvements that we got to do to it, but if I hit lock camera to view, don't do this, but this kind of gives you an idea of what the HDR does and what it looks like. Okay. Now another thing that we need to do is add a plane with an emission, and the reason why is because we kind of want to make the diamond kind of sparkle a little bit. So if we have a plane that's just a solid white, it will kind of make it kind of, emit on the glossy glass of the diamond. So hit Shift A, go to Mesh, click on Plane, scale that up by hitting S, and then rotating that to about right there. Hit G, and I'm gonna go to my material, hit New, Emission. Where is Emission? There we go. Okay, make this 10, and I'm gonna hit 0 on my numpad. I'm gonna lock the camera just so I can get a closer view. Okay, now let's see how this looks now. Alright, the gold material looks pretty cool. However, the diamond, you'll notice, like, what's going on here? I see the red and the blue and the green, but it doesn't look good. Well, the reason why is because we need to bring up the samples. So, and I've already done that to about 1,000, but really it starts looking good once you get the sample to around, I would say, 2,000. So that's something to keep in mind. And another thing that you want to do is also make the ring holder and the ring itself have smooth shading, and that will help, give it not make it look so flat. Now let's go to render. Okay, so we're doing really good. It's starting to create some realistic results. I'm going to render it real quick and show you what we have so far. Okay, so this is the ring fully rendered. The first thing that I noticed was, first of all, we need to change the resolution to 100%. And also, the thing that actually holds the diamond in place is there's a little bit of a gap between that and the diamond. So I know how to simply fix that. Go to your 3D view and select the diamond and just basically bring it up a little bit, about right there. so that there's no gap between that and the diamond. The other thing that we need to fix is go to the node editor and click on use nodes, and you'll see the rendered layers and composite. You're going to want to hit Shift A, go to filter, and click on glare, because we want to add a glare to the actual diamond itself. And I'm going to go to let's see, output viewer, so we can kind of see what's going on. And in order to be able to see what the viewer's looking at, click on backdrop. Okay, so we have this, and the glare is kind of immature looking. Let's fix that. Let's bring the threshold down to 6, the streaks down to around 7, and the iterations down to about 5, and I want to kind of fade it a little bit less. Okay, that's looking better. I'm going to bring the streaks down one more time also. Okay, now that looks pretty good. Fade to about right there. You just have to play around with the settings until you get something that you like. But this is pretty good, and it also added a glare to the actual diamond itself too. So the next thing that we need to do is get the ring and put it in a ring box. The easiest way to do that, I just went on BlendSwap and I found a guy named Tim Bazzi who had a ring box already 3D modeled, and it has a license CC0, meaning you don't have to give any credit, but still I give credit to him anyway. You download that, you open up the file, and I'm just going to copy this and put it on, let's see, I'll put it in my documents. I'm going to scroll down and paste it here. Okay, so let me go back into Blender. I'm going to go to File and then hit Append, go to my documents, and it will show ring box. If I select that, I need to go to the object, and I'm just going to left click and then drag up to kind of box select the whole thing. Select all of that and then hit Append to Library. And so you'll see that it shows up in the viewport. Okay, so first of all, I need to rotate this. I need to make it a little bit bigger. And I don't really want the B to be right there. The B to be right there. Okay, awesome. Now the next thing, I'm going to bring this up by hitting G. I'm going to scale it down so it kind of fits with the scene. Hit G. And we're just going to kind of position it in the ring box until it looks about right. Awesome. Now the ring box material itself, let's render it out and just see what it looks like. Well, first of all, I don't really like how the box is blue, and the part where the diamond is at looks too, it just doesn't look right. It shouldn't be shiny, it should have like a cloth material. So let's change those things. First, let's select the blue box, go to Material, and I'm just going to add, I'll hit the plus button. It's in the diffuse, there it is. And I'm going to bring this kind of down where it's kind of dark. Hopefully it should do the both boxes. Okay, it did. Awesome. Now I'm going to right click on this right there, and you kind of see that it has a yellow look. I don't really know why it's like that, but the easiest way is just to apply a diffuse. I'm just going to make it a little bit kind of gray, and then over here I'm going to add another diffuse, and I'm going to make it kind of the same color. So if I render it out, okay, and another thing is the box is way too shiny, so I'm going to right click on that, and I'm going to bring up the roughness to about right there. That looks pretty nice. Okay, and the next thing that we need to do is go into solid mode and hit Shift A, go to plane. I'm going to scale this up, bring it down. And so the scene that we're trying to create is basically like, I suppose there's a guy who's about to propose to somebody, and the ring is on the table. Let's go with that. That works. So that's kind of the scene that we're going for in this tutorial. Alright, let me right click on the camera, kind of position it. Alright, let's render that out just to see how it looks. Kind of position it a little bit more. Awesome. Okay, so the next thing, let me unlock it from the camera view. The next thing is we need to add a image texture to the plane. So I'm going to click New, and then on Diffuse I'm going to click right here, Image Texture. I'm going to click Open. So if you render it out, you're going to see that it probably won't show up. The reason why is because we have to add a texture coordinate. So go to your node editor, go back to your materials, and where it says image texture, hit Shift A, go to input texture coordinate, bring this to generate it. Go to 3D view, render it out. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is looking pretty awesome as it is. So we have the scene created. Now all we have to do is render it out. So awesome, good job.